Maddie Demers, welcome to Balanced with Bailey.
Thank you. Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. I feel like out of all of the people I know in my life, you and I have such a similar lifestyle and just like background. So I'm so excited to chat today.
I'm so excited.
For the people that don't know you, give us a little background, who you are, what you do, how we got to this point, basically.
How we got here today. So my name is Maddie. I am a pediatric nurse here in Boise, Idaho, and I also am the founder of Boise Girls Club, which is a community that I created for women in the area just to like get together, make new friends, new connections. I feel like as an adult, it's so hard to make friends. I constantly hear that. And so I figured, why not create a space where women can meet new people?
And it's actually such an amazing community. It's such a big part of Boise and the Treasure Valley. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
As we get to talking, I love just hearing the advice and always coming to you and being able to chat about things. So I really appreciate everything that you do. And I know your community does as well.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Feel like we should start for all the nurses out there, our nurse backgrounds.
Absolutely.
So did you always want to be a nurse? When did you go to nursing school? How did you end up in peds? That whole story.
So I didn't always know I wanted to be a nurse. I don't have one of those stories that's like, oh my gosh, I wanted to be a nurse since I was young.
No, same.
I feel like, growing up, I knew like I wanted to do meaningful work and, help people in some capacity. I just didn't know like what that was going to look like. And so when I was graduating high school, I had no idea what the next steps were going to be or what I wanted to actually commit to. But I was going to college for sure. And so I was like, if I'm going to go to college, I need to make a decision. I'm not going to just like go and hang out.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking like making lists. What am I passionate about? What can I see myself doing? And healthcare started to kind of come up. I really loved sciences. I loved helping people. And I was kind of like, how can I make this, into a career, obviously? And so I started volunteering at a local hospital. And I figured that would be helpful just to like kind of see all the capacities of a healthcare system in a hospital and see the different roles. And so that's when I kind of decided like nursing is going to be it for me. And I made that choice and haven't looked back. So yeah.
Exactly.
And then as far as like nursing school, I was kind of all over the place. I went to community college first. I went to University of Washington, and then I ended at Boise State and finished the nursing program there. And I actually thought I wanted to do like labor delivery. That was kind of like my mindset and where we thought we were going to go. And then obviously things change, and I was in nursing school in the middle of COVID, so it was just like a crazy time. And every senior in nursing school has like a senior preceptorship, as you know. And basically, typically at Boise State, they would allow you to do list 5 different places that you wanted to be selected for your senior preceptorship. But during COVID, they're like, you get one choice and that's like all you get. And if you don't get placed there, then that's it. And we'll just put you somewhere random. And so I put labor delivery, and then of course I didn't get it. I got put into peds just by chance. And I'm so grateful that I did, because now I'm like, I don't want to be a labor delivery nurse. I'm so happy that I'm in peds, and it just kind of all worked out.
I feel like that's always how it happens. When you're in nursing school, you go in with a mindset of like, I wanted to do like trauma, flight nurse, like cardiac, like ED, give me all of the crazy experiences and stories. And then I was like, I cannot. I need highlighted. I need my lines labeled. Right. I need the sticky notes out. Like, absolutely not.
Just
and
chaos.
Then ended up in peds too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's such a nurse pipeline of going like, oh, I'm going to be this. And then you actually fully 180 and like never end up doing what you think you're going to do.
Totally. And I feel like in nursing school, they really push like hospital life. Like that's kind of all that was really talked about. Mm-hmm. And so I never thought about being like in a clinic or doing any other role. And I feel like maybe you probably felt that way too.
Oh, 100%.
And so when I was in peds inpatient, and I was working night shift. I was working every other weekend.
Yep.
And the life balance was just not there. And I was like, how do people do this for 20 years?
Yes.
Like, I just don't understand. It could never be me. And so I was like, I need to get out of this position. So that's when I kind of started looking elsewhere. And I was like, nursing school never even talked about the other options and like what else there is out there for nurses,
Yeah, no, I think one of the first times I ever reached out to you was when I was full-time night shift in the PICU, and I knew you worked outpatient, and I was like, help. Girl, I gotta get out. I gotta get out of the trenches. Like, I put in my time. I've done my 2 years, but like, what is this life of outpatient that we don't know?
Right.
And again, we both made that switch, and I think it was the best decision I ever made. Going part-time, which should be in your future. Hopefully soon. Manifesting
that. Yeah.
But I feel like it's just such a good story and like sharing your background, because so many people don't even know about outpatient or like getting to make those changes. And like at first it was kind of scary to be like, oh, I'm going to leave the hospital. What are people going to think? Like I'm in a unit where people want to work and like people are dying for a job here. And I'm like leaving, and is it real nursing if I still leave? Yes, it is still real nursing. You still use your skills.
There's so much guilt there though. And I think like even inpatient, my coworkers were like, you're going to hate it outpatient. And I was like, you hate it here. Like we all hate it here, you know? So I just was like, I need to make that choice. But it was so scary. It was probably one of the hardest decisions. And I almost didn't make it. Like I almost stayed because I think there was so much guilt and just like, I was just terrified.
And then once you do, it's like, I should have done it sooner.
So sooner. Yeah.
So for being your outpatient clinic, what does a typical day look like?
So I work in a pediatric clinic. I work Monday through Thursday, and I typically work like 7:15 to 4:45 p.m. And it's a great balance. I have Fridays off. It's amazing. I love it so much, and I love my job. I really love what I do because, one, working with kids is great. But I love outpatient because basically I'm like one provider's nurse. So we really have like a great relationship. And I feel like in the hospital, especially working night shift, you just don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, you're calling in the middle of the night. They're upset with you. Like you don't have that like relationship.
Hey, I need something.
It's 3 a.m. You hate me. Yeah. And so I never built that relationship, especially like I said, working nights. But I feel like now it's like me and this provider, you know, we're working one-on-one. We work together every single day. We know how each other's like days go and how best we work together. And so that's one of my favorite things about it. But my typical day, so I do a lot of like, I would call myself almost like a clinic coordinator, which is so me. Like I'm like, this is so me. And I'm basically the only nurse in my clinic. So we have another nurse, but she's a health coach and she has like her own patient panel. So she's seeing her own patients, and I'm basically running like all the behind the scenes. So we have multiple providers within our clinic, and the providers rotate in to each patient when they're there for their visit. And so I'm basically making sure that everything's going smoothly, we're on time, things are going well, and then just all the behind the scenes stuff, you know, like things that patients and families don't typically like even know exist or happen behind the scenes, like prior authorizations for medications, my chart messages, just so many things, like little things behind the scenes. And then a lot of education. I do a lot of education for families too.
I love that. I do love working with kids. Like when in our ENT OR, we do get like TNAs and tonsils and all that kind of stuff. And when I do get kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, yay. Like, finally back to my roots. Like,
I know. I'm like, I can't imagine like working with adults at this point.
No, it's they're intubated for me, like majority of the time, but still it's like, they're a lot bigger to move than a kid is, but
totally.
Nursing, I feel like one of the biggest things is finding your balance and protecting your emotional and physical health.
Yes.
What are some of the biggest things you've learned over the years of how you find that?
So balance is honestly one of the hardest things for me, if I'm going to be 100% honest. I am such like a go person, and I love to say yes to everything. I have serious FOMO. And so I'm just like, I'll do this. When I'm invited to something, I want to go. If I see that something's happening, I want to be there. And so it's something that I've really had to like be intentional with and focus on in order to have and find balance in my life. But I think for me, obviously, as you know, being a nurse, like you're always on, like when you're on your shift, like you're on, you kind of have to, you know, you just feel like you're emotionally taxed all day long. And then when I get home, it's really nice to just like turn myself off, you know, and like relax, have slow evenings with my husband, watch our favorite TV shows, go on walks, things like that. And then I've really been trying to say no to more things, I think is one of the biggest things.
I totally feel that. And especially doing a million jobs and a million different things all the time. It's like one of the hardest things to start doing. But once you do it, you're like, wait, this is amazing. Like I can chill for a second, and it's like really not that big of a deal
to miss out on one thing.
And maybe it's like getting older, but like I feel like especially in college too, like straight out of school or in school, it's like you have to unlearn those habits. Especially as a nurse, I feel like in nursing school, you're kind of forced to be type A and always on. And like during your shifts, you're always on, but it's like, wait, okay, I'm not at the hospital. People's lives aren't at stake. I can chill. I can like turn my brain off and just hang out. It's okay.
It's amazing. Yeah, totally. But I think it's something that's just like engraved in us, especially as nurses. And so really having to like unlearn those habits is hard.
Yeah. No, it truly is.
So yeah, I love just kind of trying to slow down as much as possible. Like I said in the beginning, obviously I'm running, my nursing shifts and then also doing Boise Girls Club. So it is really hard and you feel the same way. Obviously you have a lot going on too. So I think just trying to be intentional with making those choices to say like, no.
And as your team gets bigger for Boise Girls Club, has that been helping?
Yes.
As you're able to like delegate and realize, oh wait, I don't have to do all this myself.
Yes, totally. Which I'm so grateful for. Like I could not do what I do without my team. So yeah.
That's so exciting.
I'm so happy.
Bringing it into Boise Girls Club.
Yeah.
When did it start? How did we even get to this point? Because you're thriving right now. So I want to hear all about it from the beginning.
Yeah. So I am originally from Northern California, and my parents moved here in 2016, and I moved here shortly after for nursing school. So I obviously knew them, but I didn't know anyone else. I got into nursing school. It was so busy, obviously. Like, I feel like you're just kind of in the trenches.
And COVID.
So it was just like, it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're in nursing school, like, obviously I had friends, but you're kind of just in the thick of it and like just going through the motions, And so when we graduated, a lot of like my friends in school moved away. We all started our jobs. It was during COVID. It was crazy. And it was the first time in my life that I was like, I don't have like a built-in community. Like,
where did all of my friends go?
All my friends? And so it was really hard. I was like, as an adult, it's so hard to make new friends, like I said before. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of the first time that I had that realization, like, wow, like this is really challenging. And I saw the need for community, especially here in Boise. I feel like so many people move here and don't know anyone and are in the same boat as I was in 2018. And so I have always loved event planning. It's always been like a passion of mine. And then I saw this need for community. I obviously have a passion for community too. And so I was kind of like, how can I tie this together into something where we can, provide a space for women to make those connections? And so I thought about it for like a year, like literally a year. And I was so scared. I just was like, no one's going to come to this. Like, this is silly and stupid. And like, no one's going to show up. And so but it kept coming up, right?
Yeah.
Like it was
when you have that little thought and you're like, I have to follow this because it hasn't gone away. And like, it's there for a reason. I just have to like really put myself out there and do it and make that choice.
Exactly.
Which is so much harder than people think.
So much harder. And I seriously, like I said, like people, I feel like have ideas, really amazing ideas, but they just like never do anything with them because they're scared, which like I totally get because again, I thought about it for a long time before doing anything. So I thought about it for a while and it kept coming up. It kept like being a thought in my mind, like, I want to do this, but I just don't know. I'm so scared. Finally, it was January. So I feel like I was like in my feels, like new year, like, new
vision
year.
board.
Yes. And so I just like made the Instagram. I was like, we're going to do a coffee date for our first event. And I just posted the event. And I knew that no one was going to show up. So I like forced a couple of my friends to come. And
of course.
I was like, you're coming and we're going to hang out and it's going to be a great event. So they came, which I'm so grateful for because I feel like I wouldn't have started if I didn't have those couple people there to support me during that. And then I just kept going. I just kept posting and I kept sharing. And I feel like I didn't ever think that Boise Girls Club would be big or like a big deal. But I had visions and dreams of it being big, if that makes sense. And so I'm just super grateful that it's like turned into what it has. And I feel like, we have a big presence on social media. So I think that's grown our community a lot. And then also just like word of mouth. Again, so many people move here. They don't know how to make friends. They don't know anyone. They don't know have a space for that. And so I think word of mouth sharing really helps with our community as well and getting it out there.
What was the first moment where you like paused, looked around and you're like, oh my goodness, like I've not made it, but like this is real and this is bigger than just me in this space?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I feel like probably our first Friendsgiving, which was in 2023, the year that I started the club, it was our first like big event. I think there was like 50 people there, if I want to say that correctly. And it was at like a beautiful venue in Emmett. It was like the first, because all the events leading up to that were just kind of like smaller scale. Mm-hmm. And my vision, like I said, for Boise Girls Club was big. And so that was kind of the first time that I was like, this could be big. Like a lot of people could come to these events and, there's 50 people here that like believe in what I'm doing, which is so crazy, you know? So that was like a big moment for me. But even little things like we have coffee club, and just a couple weeks ago, I was like in the bathroom, like washing my hands, and I could hear like everyone like laughing and like chatting and giggling like outside. Mm-hmm. And I just was like so like giddy. Like I'm like, all these people are like just here here, and like they're, you know, they see what we're doing, they believe in this, and they're putting themselves out there, because it's so hard to show up to something like that, especially by yourself, not knowing anyone.
I feel like that's probably one of the biggest boundaries people face. But then again, knowing everyone else is also showing up on their own, I feel like that definitely helps.
Yeah, because I feel like as an adult, when you, like, again, it's so hard. You're not going to like walk into a bar and be like, hey, like, do you want to be my friend? You know?
They're going to be like, who is this girl?
Who are you? Yeah. So I feel like our events create that like natural, welcoming space for women. Everyone knows that everyone else there is in that same mindset, you know? So.
What are some of the challenges that you faced growing so fast, and like some of the challenges you weren't expecting, and how you were kind of able to like overcome or work through?
Yeah, I think obviously one of the biggest challenges is that I work as a nurse full time. I think like time is just hard, because I'm working all day, and then I basically come home and do like Boise Girls Club outside of my 9 to 5 and on the weekends, obviously. So I think time has been challenging for sure, and just finding that balance. I think like a lot of things happen behind the scenes that like people don't know that are going on, obviously. They just show up to the event and see this amazing event, and they're like, oh my gosh, like this is great, you know? But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and just people not like recognizing that, I think is challenging sometimes. We are really intentional with like every event that we do. That's something that I like really pride myself in. I really am intentional with all the details, and so there's just a lot that goes on behind the scenes. But I think like having interns, I have 2 amazing interns. They've been so helpful. Like I said, they're amazing, and they really take a lot off of my plate, and just even just at the events, like managing people and making sure that things are running smoothly, talking with other vendors. So they've been amazing, and I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah, and those little things really do matter, and being able to kind of delegate. Nursing, you learn how to delegate, even though it's harder than you think it is. One of the biggest things you learn.
It's like, so hard.
The type A is like, no, you don't have to do everything yourself.
It's do everything by yourself. Yeah.
Do you have any creative like rituals or routines that help keep you consistent through all of that and kind of the crazy, or is it like every day is completely different?
I feel like every day is completely different. Like it's not really structured in any way. I feel like I don't know, like I feel like I have kind of that natural talent for events and like planning. And so I just try to like stick to that. I don't want to pressure it or make it like crazy. I just try to like go with my gut feeling. And I try to like be inspired by just like normal life, like things that I'm doing with my friends, things that I see on social media, and just try to like pull from those things in order to create events and things that we do for the club.
I was going to ask, like, how do you feel inspired when you're starting to feel burnt out or you don't feel creative? Where do you find the inspiration for all the events you're doing? Because it feels like, we have 4 events this month?
I have 6 events this month.
6.
It's so crazy, which is like honestly one of our biggest events that we've ever done. It's insane. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, like I said, I think I try to pull just from like what I do in my day-to-day life. And then social media is a big thing. We have like creative meetings with my interns where we sit down and we just try to like brainstorm upcoming things and what we feel like would be things that people would like and events that girls will be interested in. We really try to spice things up and make things different because everyone has different interests, right? So we really try to have different events for different women and things like that. So, but it is hard. I mean, like, I do get in creative ruts where I'm like, I don't feel inspired by this at all right now, and I don't know like where to go from here. So that's when I feel like I'm burnt out and I need to like take a step back, you know, because I do feel like I just have that gut feeling, and when I start to not feel that creativeness in my body, I'm like, okay, like I'm burnt out. I need to just kind of pause.
Yeah, take a pause,
yes.
Move on from there.
Yeah.
Long term, what are some of the milestones like in the future you're really excited for, or big things coming up?
So, I mean, I would love to like just continue to grow Boise Girls Club in general. I would love to like expand into other cities, or at least do like fun pop-up events in other cities. Like I feel like that would be so fun, doing like big events like in Chicago or New York or anything like that. So that would be amazing. I think, I mean, just more connections being made just in general, I think is something that I strive for with the club. And then like we just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, which was a big deal. That was in September. And so I think just growing our social media presence, our goal for this year is to hit 20,000 followers by the end of 2026.
And you're already at what, 13 now?
13.
Like easy, easy. By summer, come on. Like you can, if anyone can do it, you guys can do it.
You're so funny. Yeah. So just little things like that.
Yeah. That's so amazing. And being able to like look forward and be excited about milestones and goals and where you want to go, but also being like, look at how far we've come in just 3 years.
Right.
Being able to find that, like when you kind of get in that rut of being like, oh, I don't know or whatever. It's like, wait, look at the amazing things we've done and like how far that's going to go. It's like when you think about the future and setting the bar, you have to be like so delusional about it because you're only going to get closer to that goal. And like the more delusional you are, like the more amazing things are going to happen.
Totally.
And I feel like I'm so in that right now and just being absolutely
so
delusional.
I feel like you have to be, like you said, like you have to just set the bar so high. And then obviously like, because if you set it low, then you can only go so far, right? So you really have to like set it high and then just try to get as close as you can to that goal.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get into some rapid fire questions.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So first one, what is your go-to reset after a long shift or a hard day in the clinic?
So I would say like just a slow evening, like I had kind of mentioned before. I feel
Diet Coke.
A Diet Coke. No, literally fridge cig. Diet Coke and hanging out with my husband. I feel like, and then watching like a TV show, just relaxing, hanging out with our dog. We just moved into a new house and we're just like, it's very like, we have a huge yard, just sitting outside, relaxing. The weather's getting nice. So
yeah, perfect for the weather.
Yes.
What shows are you binging right now?
So we've been watching The Pit. Which,
love.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many people talked about it for so long and I was kind of like, like another medical drama, whatever. But I did see that so many people were loving it and like it won awards for being one of the most like realistic medical shows. So I was like, okay, we're going to give it a chance and it's actually so good.
No, same. I waited until it died down because I was like, I don't know what to think yet. Yeah. And like, I need some time. And then I watched it like all in one weekend and I was like, okay. Like,
and it is so good. And
so
it also makes me realize I never want to work in the ER.
Absolutely not. My like planning
it makes
personality, no.
Yeah, I'm like, your brain is getting pulled in so many different directions. I'm like, no, thank you.
I forget if I don't like write something down and like have a list. So that would not work well for me at all. What are your current wellness non-negotiables?
I would say movement for sure. I feel like it's hard for me to find time for movement in my schedule, but I feel like I always feel so much better when I do it. So I think that's definitely one of my non-negotiables. I think getting outside and like just getting fresh air. A little matcha routine.
Of course.
A little matcha.
What's your go-to morning routine on your day off?
Oh my gosh. I really try. So Fridays are my days off. I really try to have like as slow of a morning as I possibly can just because, again, the rest of the week is just chaos. I like get up so early. I have to be at work at 7:15, so I have to get up pretty early the other days. But anyway, so I try to have as slow of a morning as I can. I have been making matcha at home, saving money.
Okay.
Yeah. I made like a banana bread syrup, which is so good. And that's like my hyperfixation right now. Wow. So I've been making that, just hanging outside or in our new living room, just relaxing. I try to give myself a little bit of time. I typically go to like Pilates or Legree on Fridays. Those are like my day that I really get a class in the morning. And then typically after that, it's crazy and meetings and on the go.
What's one thing in your day-to-day like that's super small, but you like find joy in?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I try to really find the joy in all the little things. I know that sounds so cliche, but I feel like as a nurse, we see life is like so short, like seriously. And I feel like, again, that's so cliche to say, but it's also so true. And I feel like as a nurse, you see so much that can go wrong and so many things that can happen. And so I really try to it's way easier said than done, but try to just find the joy in all the little things. My matcha in the morning really does bring me a lot of joy, I will say.
No, same. My caffeine intake, one thing, sky through the roof. My caffeine intake, that should be a goal for me, but I know it won't be because I can't not have it.
I feel like, like it's such a small little thing, but like if I don't have it, my day seems to be worse.
Oh, and so much longer. And then you're like, how am I dragging? And it's 2 p.m. Probably because we wake up at 5 a.m. and have working straight to doing planning events, planning other things.
Yep.
No. Totally felt that, like deep. What's a dream you're so delusional about, but you can't wait for it to come true?
I would say, like I said, bringing Boise Girls Club to other cities, I think, or at least doing pop-up events or like expanding and having like, Seattle Girls Club or New York Girls Club, things like that. I think would probably be our big goal and dream for us.
So exciting.
It's going to come true.
So exciting. Of course it will. So we have something really special coming up. Would you like to talk about it?
Yes. So we have an event coming up with Boise Girls Club and Balanced by Bailey. It's on April 25th at 5:30 p.m. and it is a matcha made in heaven event, which I'm so excited about. And we're doing a friend speed dating event.
So excited. That's like, it's such a fun idea. And we've been sitting on this for months. Like we have been like really intentional with every little detail. We were like, we don't want to just like throw this together. Like it's going to be such a big event. It's so exciting. We're going to have matcha. We're going to have wine, all of our favorite things, so many people. And instead of speed dating, it's for friends, because that's being intentional with our space, intentional with our people in our community. And like, what better way than to sit down with people and really get to know everyone who decides to come to the event. If you come with your best friend, if you come alone, and just get to combine communities and really build off of intentional friendships.
Yeah, I'm so excited to combine our communities. I feel like it's going to be so fun. And I feel like, I mean, I haven't really heard of a lot of people doing like a friend, like speed dating.
No, I've literally never heard of it.
So I'm kind of like, this is going to be fun. And I feel like girls are going to love it. And yeah, basically we're just going to have like rounds, and you're going to be able to sit down and meet a ton of people and really have like those intentional connections and conversations. So I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. There's going to be goodie bags. We're going to have questions. Then we'll have some time to mingle after. And can't wait to see all the friendships that come out of it.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so fun. So we'll post a link. Stay tuned. Follow all the socials, because we'll get that up and get it going.
You don't want to miss it. I really like have a vision of it being massive and like a huge event. So I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Already kind of spreading the word a little bit here and there.
Dropping some hints.
The matcha on my story this morning. I was like, okay, they don't know, but I do. I love a good little hint.
I know.
Like teasing things. So fun. And when this episode comes out, it'll be the week after. So make sure if you're listening to go grab a ticket, because again, I have a feeling it's going to be huge. And if we sell it out, I want to make sure we get the most amount of people and everyone in that we can.
I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, so exciting. Do you have anything else you want to throw out there? Where to find you in Boise Girls Club online?
Yeah, I feel like the last thing I want to just say is like, if you have a dream or something that you want to do, like do it. Seriously, do it. Think about it for a little bit, but then just do it. I feel like, again, so many people wait on that. And I think it's so important to just go for it, because you'll never know unless you try and actually go and do it. So that is my number one piece of advice. And then, social media. So you can follow my personal page. It's Maddie Reed with 3 Ds, MaddieReed. And then Boise Girls Club is our event platform. We post all of our events on that page, on our main page. And then we always link all of the tickets in our bio. And again, we host like 4 to 6 events.
I was going to say, you have to go follow and keep up, because I follow and I can't even keep up half the time.
I know.
Also,
turn our event page like notifications on.
Yes. And you do a lot of partnersget with culture and the workout ones. So excited to teach the Pilates one.
It's
going to be so fun.
Oh my gosh. Pedals and Pilates.
Yes. Get all the girls out.
Spring reset.
Exactly. So there's always something fun. There's always a million different ideas, ways to get out, join the community. And again, like, if you have a dream, do it. And also, if you've been thinking about coming to an event, just do it. That's the hardest part, is just showing up, and then you're like, wait, it really wasn't that big of a deal.
I feel like it's so hard to just like get your foot in the door and just like come. And I've had girls be like, I signed up for an event and just didn't come because I was like so scared. Yeah. And once they come, they're like, okay, this isn't that bad. I feel like just getting in the door, we are like we're so intentional about greeting you the second that you come in the door. So we will be there to say hi, welcome you.
We will be at the door.
We will be at the door, literally giving you a giant hug, a little kiss.
Yeah, no. Kisses for everyone.
But no, seriously. And like we are always like mingling, making sure that everyone has those connections throughout the event. We'll always come and chat with you. If you feel like you're by yourself and not having a connection, we'll jump right over, make it feel great for you and natural and all the things. So definitely come to an event. If you're scared, come.
I love it. I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait. Thank you so much for coming on Balance.
Thank you for having me. This was amazing.
So much fun.
I had the best time.
I will see everyone next week. Love y'all. Bye.